Now we're going to take that new Boolean logic and conditional statements and give the computer some input to change our program. So what you can see here is we have a giraffe on screen. If I press the H button, as we can see here, it sets the animation to a hippo. If I press the P button, it sets it to pig, and I can go back and forth. Now, what I don't have is the ability to set it back to the giraffe. So if I just copy this, and you can see I have an R here, right? Um, Actually, we're going to change this, and it's not going to be, I think it's rabbit is the other thing it asks you to be able to do. So now what we can see is if I press the H button, set the animation to hippo. If I hit the P button, set it to pig. And if I hit the R button, we're going to set it to rabbit. Now, because I don't have a giraffe one, I could easily just come here, and again, I'm just going to take this if statement right here. So we can see our if statement right here. I need that bracket, so I'm going to just get rid of that little bit of white space there. And I'm going to come underneath, I'm going to paste this, and I'm going to go to my G button, and I can change my animation variable that we've set. Meaning what I want to display this variable as is to, what is it, giraffe, yep. So now you're going to see I'm going to run this program. If I hit an R, I get a rabbit, G, it goes back to the giraffe, P, H. So the computer is waiting on my input inside of this draw loop, and it's running this loop, waiting for me to have the input of an H, P, R, or G. So if we jump to bubble 4, what it's asking us is to use our arrow keys to create this ladybug to move. So the way that we're going to look at it is, how do we go about doing this? Well, the first thing is we're going to need an if statement. So again, if you want to come up here to your controls, we can drag in our if statement. Well, what do we want to have happen? Well, if we have a key down, so if we have key down, and what key do we want? Well, our right key, meaning our right arrow key. So if we have that key down, the right arrow key, we want the bug to move to the right. Well, how do we do that? Well, we use that counter pattern that we've written before. So if we have our bug equal bugs x equals bugs x plus 1, now what you're going to notice is I'm going to run this program. When my right arrow key's down, my bug is going to move to the right. Now I can duplicate this, and let's say if I want my left arrow down, if I have that left arrow key down, well, my counter pattern would go in reverse, -1. So I'm going to run this program now. When I go right, I go to the left again. Oh, it wasn't working because I did the little default drop down and it gave me 2 of the same words on arrow, so we can see that. Now that doesn't look right to me because obviously our bug should turn the other way instead of walking in reverse. So we can see here I have my bug animation, and I'm just going to come and duplicate this down. I'm going to come here, and you know what? I have my ladybug here. I'm going to duplicate it here. So I have my copy of ladybug. I'm just going to name it ladybug 1. And you can see in my design here, I can flip it vertically. So when I come back to my coding now, I can do ladybug 1. So if I'm going to the right, it's ladybug 1. If I go to the left, it's ladybug to the left. But you can see it doesn't flip back. So that means I need to come back to my right arrow, set that bug animation, and now you can see when it goes right, left, and then if I hit right again, it flips that animation back. You could do the same thing to make the ladybug move up and down on the screen, changing your animations. So you're going to choose one of these to work on right here and complete, and then come over to the assessment, which is in our bubble 7, and they're asking you to add 4 separate conditional statements to make this wingbot move.